if we can get some volume checks going.
Volume.
All right. And it's tricky with all these tabs and things and people's voices, and so I appreciate
I'm sure we're making it much more complicated than it probably needs to be, but
yeah, sure. But this is the fun of it, you know?
Of course.
I always thought, you know, for UNM hockey, which was always very successful, despite that being, you know, true, a lot of the learning and the great part of the program was in running the club and setting stuff up and trying to run these meetings and organizing things and actually like the doing of the club. I mean, winning games is hard enough, sure, but when you're like, you look out into the stands and you're like, we produce that, we got this stuff done. And they're like, yeah, that's great, you know.
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't be like a virtual fan in the Rocket League arena, like in the virtual one, and have your nameplate there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not too big, but enough that you know, if it was at a certain highlight, you could see your name, you know, in the replay. Like, what? I was there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that'd
actually be an interesting. Like, say they can't host like an in-person Rocket League World Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they come out with some sort of viewing platform where you could be one of those chairs out in the stands.
Yeah. Let's just say there were
like
6,700 seats you could buy, like in the RLS 9 that never went down. Perfect. I was so pumped. I had tickets for it. Everything was ready to go, man. I was super pumped.
Yeah, Aaron had tickets. I was going to have tickets, but I wasn't really sure the timing of it all because it was going to be in April, and I don't really have a mode of transport while I'm on campus, other than, you know, Uber to the airport, I guess. And
right.
I mean, it was in April. I think it was a weekend in April, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was just going to be rough for me to get especially if I had projects coming up and that type of thing.
I know.
And it's just, so I was going to attend DreamHack Dallas, which was going to be about a week after schools or classes ended. I think it was May. I want to say May like 23rd. That weekend was when they were going to do it. I was good to go to that one because I was then also going to be in Texas for a really good friend of mine's graduation from high school and her birthday. So that was going to be.
Oh, that would have been that'd been wild. You'd have come back ridiculous. You would have been ruined.
Oh yeah.
I know. Yeah. Well. Oh, it looks like the stream is up.
I can't see it via Discord. I see it on.
I took it off Discord for the moment just to see if right now I don't have any issues at the moment with any latency or any of that but you know, it happens. But I do want to see. Maybe I'll put some headphones in. Do I have my headphones in? No. See how this sounds. I'm sure my mic isn't too bad. This is going to be about how this. Let's see, Fossil, can you give me something here?
Some 1, 2, 3s, 1, 2, 3s, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How about that?
Alright, I'm going to raise your voice a little bit. Let's see. Now that I have a co-caster permanently here. Woo.
Yeah, barring a significant power outage, but...
Yeah, all of us. Alright, so this is just some preliminary play here, folks. If you're just tuning in or you're wondering what's going on, this is the Rio Grande Rocket League Summer Series. I'm Dr. 450, this is Fossil from UNM. We're just getting some play from JMMS, warming up, getting the stream equalized, figuring things out, because it always seems to be this minute detail. I don't know if you ever watched The Office, and he's like, "This ain't no my new detail, Michael," and he puts the decimal point in the wrong place and ends up taking too much money out of the bank account. It's always the small details. Yeah. It's always the small details, and they're in the car. And he's like, "Oh man, crap! Like they took a lot of money out of the account." And he's like, "I must have put a decimal point in the wrong place." Yeah. It's always some small detail. I should have screwed up. You're like, "This is not a small detail. Like you really screwed up." That's how I feel about last week with UNM. They had Tokyo Underpass, you know, and I felt like the guy from The Office. Who's like, stupid me. Oh, what have I done? Like, I've made the people I care about upset. Like, I screwed up, and I just.
You know, to be fair to U.S. Army Esports, who ended up beating us, they were more prepared for, you know, the underpasses in general. They were more prepared for the, roller coaster of emotions and just the type of play that we were gonna have to do. So, I mean, though we were not necessarily ecstatic about having to play on it twice, not just once, but twice. Credit to them where credit is due.
No, I think that's a good point. I do think it was pretty difficult. And for either team, I don't think they were necessarily like...
I don't think either team was particularly more comfortable than the other. I think one just was better at it than the other was at adapting after the first game.
So it's kind of fun to see, my squad just having some fun here. We have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and some students even going on into high school. So we have the whole kind of spectrum. I guess I don't have any 5th graders who are thinking about esports. I haven't gotten that far in yet, but I have a nice little spectrum of players up in the mix.
Mm-hmm. That's just great to hear, honestly. I mean, I know of where I am, out here in California, there are a few prominent schools finally starting to kind of open their eyes to the world of esports. Yeah. And I mean, it's very, very early on in those, in that developing kind of culture out here. So to get anything started like this, for New Mexico, Albuquerque, just in general, and I mean around our country too, because I mean I've been talking to, I know Utah in particular has a pretty good high school scene so far. A bunch of high schools from around Utah have started getting their esports teams kind of rolling. I know a bunch of teams out in the kind of East Coast region have been kind of experimenting with esports as well, simply because their winter and kind of some of them their spring sports can be very limited because of weather. Even some of the northern schools, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, that type of thing. So if we can kind of start laying the seeds for those type of people to start giving them something to do, rather, that would help this entire movement kind of keep going.
All right, agreed. It's been interesting. I mean, I've been trying to think of it from the holistic perspective of like K through 12 and then beyond, just typically as an educator. And I think last year was the tipping point. I was a part of this nationwide league and we were all kind of able to hang out on Discord, but I think there are just too many teams now. I think there's over 30 teams, and I know some prominent people that are in California, Arizona, Nevada, and I thought we need to make our own conference and we're going to dominate. I thought, I represent New Mexico pretty hard, trying to get just our whole scene some attention, but I thought just as a Southwest, I'd like to just be a powerhouse. I'd like to everyone go, oh man, like what do they drink over there? What's in the desert sand that makes them so good? That's the goal.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just putting out the stream call to a few other people, see if I can get any more teams to kind of scramble together if they weren't already preparing. But
Yeah, I bugged everybody. I sent a follow up message and a 45-minute warning. I was like, yo. And I think that's. I think I've heard today from the U.S. Army Esports. I hope NMSU gets on. Of course, JMMS and UNM are on board. But we'll see what we get. You know, every week is a little bit different. What's important is we give some consistency. I know some weeks people are like, oh, I wish there was something. And then sometimes you get kind of a low turnout because people just feel good that there's just something every week, you know, and they're like, oh, okay, well, there's one next week. And I'm like, it's nice to feel that good, but make sure you come out and you participate because this is some fun stuff.
yeah. They should have at least one UNM roster playing. They were sent. They told me that they were going to play, so I'm going to yell at them if they didn't. But we will. Actually, I'm going to go message them now to make sure that they do something. And then I think at least one school from Utah said that they might try to join. They said that one of their guys may be working.
Cool.
But they could possibly get a regular third, even if it's not an entire high school team. It might be at least 2/3 of them.
Perfect. Hey, this is gonna be fun. I hope. Okay, so it's Rumble. If you're watching this, it's Rumble, and I was telling my players, I said, you know, anything can happen. I said the better players aren't excited that it's Rumble. You know, they're not going, yes, this is going to really amplify my skill. I go, no, actually, this is going to make it really difficult, you know. I said, this is like playing Super Mario Kart, you know. Like, there's always these equalizing factors. Oh, I got the spike for the third time in a row. Oh, let me see, you know. And I'm like, yes, let a little bit of chance take play this week. What are your thoughts on Rumble, Fossil?
You know, I really liked it initially. And as toxic as that sounds to the Rocket League and Rumble community, it drives me insane. I swear my luck in Rumble is the absolute worst. There is no way anyone could convince me otherwise that I don't get the worst abilities in Rumble at any given moment in the game. It drives me absolutely insane. Now, that being said, I have immense respect for the people who can play Rumble competitively and do well at it. I am not one of those people.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I don't know if you've ever been one of those players to think, all right, maybe these extra modes are where I can, you know, boost my rank up a little bit, you know, because I can speak on it. I'm not a diamond player. I'm gonna get diamond rewards for the first time. Really pumped on that. Been playing 14 months. And it's in snow day, and I just went off one day, and I thought, well, this isn't really like my skill level, and now I'm in diamond. However, in Rumble, that's kind of that same thing, you know. I was really proud the first time I got plat, and it was in Rumble, and my middle school team kind of got me there. We were all pumped.
Nice.
What for you is that mode that you're like, oh man, it got me super far at first?
Initially, well, I guess I can say the best mode, or my best mode early on, that was kind of above and beyond the other ones, was actually ones. Initially, I didn't have anyone to play with in this game when this, because on Xbox, which is where I started, um, I really didn't have anyone to play with. None of my IRL friends would play with me. They didn't find the game, you know, fun. They were more into, you know, Call of Duty and that type of thing. So I really didn't branch out and kind of find my own little groove and group of friends for Rocket League until probably a year after the game came out. So for that first year, I was just so much better at ones than anything else. Simply because I wasn't used to, you know, I didn't want to play competitive twos or threes without people that I could actually talk to. And, you know, rotations are just better when you can talk to people and that kind of thing. But after about a year in, I actually started making some friends. You know, the occasional person in ones who seemed to just be a good person, so I would add them and we'd play twos together or something like that. Um, so after that, I actually fell off in ones quite a bit. I got much better at twos and threes, and I didn't play ones competitive really almost until recently. But for a long time, I was, gold and even platinum in ones before I was even silver in twos and threes. So it was kind of a weird evolution for me.
That that yeah, that actually illustrates it quite well. I was following along, your career there, trying to think about how that all went down. So like, if you were to explain maybe your progression through your skill, like how did you become better at Rocket League? That's such an ambiguous question, but like, take it however you want. Like, how did you get better at playing?
I mean, honestly, it
What
was
was
the
your
grind.
path?
What is your path? I mean, I believe Rocket League got released in, I think it was 2015 for Xbox. I'm checking it right now just so I don't spew any lies.
Sure.
But I mean, I want to say it was either 20 summer or PlayStation to 2016 is when I got it on Xbox. So
Okay.
keep in mind that is 4.5 years ago now. It was February of 2016 that came out on
No wonder.
Xbox.
Dang.
So I grinded this game, and mind you, I didn't really play it competitively as my main game for about the first year. Like I said, I played ones, but after a while, a multiplayer game, or meant to be a multiplayer game rather, just kind of gets boring when you don't have people to talk to it about. So I never really could commit. And then, like I said, I started finding people to play with, and IRL friends didn't become as important for this game in particular because I started making friends from cross country, even across the ocean in Europe and that type of thing. But as for getting better, I mean, the best thing for getting better is just consistency. I mean, I practice a particular skill so many times. Like, for example, double tap off the back wall. That was it. I still am not that good at them. I just practice them every single day. But the initial like hump, I guess, of trying to just get that first one and read how the ball bounces, I was in training for, I want to say, probably at least 2 hours a day, if not more. Not to mention, just putting that training into action in casual or competitive. But if like I got something on my mind that I wanted to learn, I saw the pros do it in RLCS. I saw, a higher ranked friend do it. I would put myself in training and just practice as best as I possibly could. I mean, it's silly to think about how much time you have to put into something, but then at the same time, throughout high school, when I was still picking up this game, I was going to soccer practice, for like 8 hours a week, if not more, and volleyball practice, for 8 hours a week after that. So I mean, I was, putting them together. I was like, well, okay, I play this game on the weekends. I put a few hours into it, after homework's done and whatnot. And I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I'm doing out on the soccer field. And the results were actually pretty stunning. I would kind of look back after a month or two of gameplay on my Xbox, and they had this really cool feature of game clips where if you feel like you did something cool, you could double tap and press X, and it would record the last 30 seconds or whatnot. And I would go back and I was like, wow, this was only a month ago. I was missing this shot, I was missing that shot, and then I scrolled to about a month's worth of clips later, and I'm starting to hit those. Maybe not every single time, but it's more frequently, and that type of grind just ends up paying off in the long term for your overall game. Because some people may say, okay, you can't just work on one thing and be good at one thing to get better, but that's how it starts. So the whole grind, people always talk about the grind of getting better. It's not just focusing on one thing, but it's focusing on a bunch of things individually, one at a time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, when you get that opportunity, you can practice it. Like, and I think. I mean, I can relate here as a hockey player. I played hockey my entire life since I was 5. And like, it's quite the anomaly. So is hockey in the desert, but being a good hockey player isn't something that happens by chance. There's so much that goes into it. There's so many little things, and I used to always think about it like, if you're just to only scrimmage and play around, just like, you're not gonna get the practice you need to really be a better player, or better than everybody else, if you just wait for the opportunity to get that chip on the boards and to practice that one play or two to do this or that. Like, at least in Rocket League, you can try a bunch of specific things, and yeah, circumstantially they come up in the game all the time, but you don't have to wait for that opportunity then to try that out. And same as hockey with making good practice drills.
Oh, of course, that's 100% true.
Well, it's pretty interesting. I certainly enjoy the educational aspect of it. There's a lot involved with all of this stuff.
Oh yeah, every single thing. I mean, I remember the grind in this game, like I was talking about. Oh my goodness, it can be frustrating. You
Yeah.
know, especially with how ranked can be. You find, one player to play with, and you guys just get at it one day, and you win 7 out of 8 games or 7 out of 9 games, and you go up, 40 MMR, which is, roughly 0.4 of an entire rank. And, it's just great. And then the next day, the exact opposite happens, and you feel just like the entire world is coming down because you lose 7 out of 9 games, and all of that progress that you made yesterday is just gone, and you're shattered, and you feel like, oh, just like you're the worst player in the world because you feel like nothing is really changing. You try to
Right.
you put in all this effort, like I was talking about, doing this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing, and then you're still losing. Oh, it can be like disheartening, so disheartening. There's nothing that you can like compare it to when you do put all this effort in and you practice with your team and you go over VODs and stuff and figure out how you can improve, and then the very next time you play, it's just nothing changes. Oh, it's so disheartening. And that's
Man.
another part of the thing about getting better is you can't let that one day of completely disheartening gameplay stop you from wanting to get better.
Right.
And it's the people who can win that mental game that do get better and just skyrocket in rank, in just a few months' time. Because Rocket League is one of those games where you're not just going to inherently be good. There's the shrouds of this world who can pick up, a mouse and keyboard, jump into a first-person shooter game, and absolutely annihilate the competition. There's no competition. It is immediately they are one of the best in the world at that particular game just because of their history with that, platform. Rocket League is so unique to any sort of esport in the world. In my opinion, it's
Yeah.
the most sport-like esport in that match because there's no luck to Rocket League, really. There's all skill. There's even in first-person shooters, there's tactics and there's certain smoke grenades and just positioning in general. But for Rocket League, it's a moving game. There's no pauses, there's no rounds. The only real pause is after a goal or if you're going into overtime. And it's just there's no competition, in my opinion, when it comes to other esports.
I agree. I hope that it continues to go on. I mean, do you think there'll be a Rocket League 2 one day? Or do you think they'll
That
just
is
change Rocket League?
that personally, I've thought about this so many times I can't count on one hand. If you look at Rocket League in general, and let you go back to a regular sport, like I was just saying, there's no soccer 2. There's no basketball the next generation. There's new players,
Right.
but there's never really a new game. Now, if you go to other esports like CS:GO for Counter-Strike, for example, as a kid, I remember watching people play Counter-Strike 1. I think it was 1.6 is what they called it, and then around I think it was 2011, 2010 is when CS:GO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, came out, and that pretty much changed the whole game. It's the same principle, but even for a long time, Counter-Strike 1.6 and CS:GO were competitors. There was still big tournaments going on for Counter-Strike 1.7 or 6, whatever it's called. And CS:GO's esports was starting to get, it was hardly getting off the ground. And then, things started to change, new players came and the old pros from the other game came over. But for Rocket League, unless something massive about the gameplay changes, I don't know
Right.
how they would change it enough to consider it a different game. And I mean, if they were to, I don't even know, make the graphics engine a little bit different, maybe if they made the standard game mode, like the anniversary game mode that had Rocket League
Right.
made a few years ago, with the goal outside of the wall, kind of like a hockey goal,
Right.
something that you'd be familiar with. Unless they did something drastic like that and kept the gameplay, at least relatively similar, I
Right.
don't know, because Rocket League basically is Rocket League 2, because there was the initial supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars, which was only on PS4. That never really gained traction. Maybe it was because of that name. It's kind of hard to say that name over and over again.
Right.
But in reality, this is the quote unquote true form that Psyonix envisioned when they are making their game. So in reality, I don't know how they would change this enough to make another game.
Right.
So,
No, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we'll just have to see what happens if they can evolve it. It doesn't seem like Rocket League changes their game too much. Often I think, man, how come these corrections aren't put into play here?
yeah, I mean, that's one thing that the community can. I'm sure if we got some of the prominent members of the community together, that would be probably the most talked about thing, is the amount of attention the kind of just the gameplay gets from the developers. A lot of people, since basically the first crate series came out, a lot of people have been kind of tilting their head in Psyonix's direction and saying, okay, we like these decals and everything, but what about this? Where there's like, for example, one of the main things that people used to hate was they used to not have see-through goals, like the edges of the goals.
Wow.
So if you would rotate into goal, you would have no idea where the ball is. You couldn't see the ball. So that that affected rotations and whatnot. And people for months, they're like, okay, this is like the 4th crate we've had in like 4 months. Can we address this issue that we've been talking about? Or another big one, servers. Everyone in Rocket League will tell you that they do not like the servers.
Right.
And some people get good servers, some people get bad servers, and the issue with that is those two people will face off against each other in the same game. And it's just,
yeah, I think that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's a tough kind of wake-up call is what Psyonix needs.
I agree. Well, we got our first game up here. It looks like we have La Cueva High School versus NMSU. And Rumble has provided already quite a few chances. Looks like Modulo, the captain of La Cueva's team, puts in the first goal. I didn't catch who got the second goal here by NMSU.
I'm gonna have to do the whole future cast kind of prediction thing right now, but I mean, NMSU, I don't know. I'm trying to look at what players are playing currently. Because if NMSU's A team is playing, I think they should have this almost down. But then again, Rumble, like we were talking about, is much different, than standard Rocket League. It can throw a curveball at you like that freeze that I just saw, apparently. And, all of these...
Look at that, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just everything can be, they're attacking on one end, and then, a quick, teleport or a plunger, it can change the entire field in a split second.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and speaking of...
That was a insane dribble. That's another thing. Spikes is so... Oh, I used to love just toying with spikes.
What was it? Was that a weaving instructional class we just took part in? How effortless was that? I mean, that made it look foolishly easy.
That was a...
Wow.
That was a...
I was like, I didn't even know how to react to it. I went, whoa, whoa, beautifully done.
Textbook version of dribbling with those type of things.
So, Epi and Grand Alarm, is this their B squad, A squad, C squad? Which squad is this?
I'm going to say this is their B squad. I remember I actually played...
Cake on the... Cake's on their first squad, I believe.
Cake is, I believe, by far their best player, but this could be kind of a... I think Grand Alarm is typically on their B team, but this could be, just because of, preferences and playing modes, this could be kind of a thrown together team of, a bunch of different players from different rosters. So it could be a mixture of A and B, it could be a mixture of B and C, that type of thing. Wow, that was a struggle.
Did you see how Modulo acted like he was going to go up the wall but then faked it, and I think that really pulled everyone a little out of position, and then he went straight in the middle there. That was great.
Well, and even that flip towards the end of his shot, I mean, because of the ball being hard attached to his hood, flipping like that makes that ball almost impossible to hit if you're on the defending side.
Oh wow, alright, so we're going to follow this game all the way here to the end and then jump on through. Looks like the ball is going to take it. We have about 30 seconds here remaining, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I'm afraid some type of physics thing is going to happen at the end to decide this, or the plunger hits it, and then there's just too many things that can happen at once that make your head kind of not understand what's going on.
Oh, I mean, that is the beauty and just the entire game of Rumble.
Oh my gosh, and just with seconds remaining, it looks like there's going to be an opportunity.
Oh my, yeah. 5 seconds. Oh, and it goes in.
Oh my goodness, and he...
Jungle this?
How do you let it go here with 3 seconds? You're so happy that it's a best of 3 in a case like this, because here we have a high school here, which I might say is probably one of the best in APS esports, taking on NMSU B team, barely losing it. And man, yeah, ready up. GG.
That hurts. If you are La Cueva, that does hurt. But like I was just saying, the beauty of Rumble, that type of thing can happen. It doesn't necessarily take a screaming shot from half field and a bump on goalie to score. Getting a plunger that speeds the ball up to Mach 1 can change a game in a split second, which ended up happening.
Alright, so we're going to jump in here. It looks like we are playing, 2 middle schools are playing against each other. They're actually the 2 middle schools I help work with. Eisenhower Middle School is playing with James Monroe Middle School. And I have to say, these are some really good players. Some of my middle school players are in the champ region. And I would fair to say they're in the top 1% of their age group. In terms of competitive play, I know a lot of people play and they're not a part of a team of any sorts, but for those who are, here they are.
This is actually kind of funny. Are these the 2 teams that we were witnessing play earlier on in the stream?
Yeah, except this is another crew added on. We have Sim, Piggy, and Magic. Magic is their best player. He's about 1600 MMR. He just got to champ. He's trying to get into grand champ so he could make it on varsity with Modulo, who's playing in La Cueva. Magic will move to La Cueva's team and actually play with, wow, let's see, I don't know if they're gonna pull this off. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of potential in these early ranks. A lot of these players are going to end up at UNM, and we have at least 9 of them that we're watching here today. I think that's the cool part about this idea. Oh, and it looks like a goal here by James Monroe. I'd like to see that. We have a 6th grader playing on the squad with 2 8th graders. Our 6th grader's Joey. And Magic, Piggy, and Sim are all 8th graders going into 9th grade.
Huh. So that amazes me. I mean, being in college myself and, kind of trying to run and try to grow the esports scene at UNM, it's great to hear that these people are, growing up and getting to, UNM level and stuff like that. Because if they're already this good, in middle school, not even high school.
I know.
They're going to be absolutely insane when they get to.
We're gonna run the table. So, to everybody who participates on these weekly events, we obviously showcase at the very end the top talent who makes it there, but you can't undermine the value of adolescent talent. And I do think there's something here. If you've been playing for 3 years, I think it's tough to be at the Grand Champ level. I had a couple students on my personal team who were Diamond. Piggy, who didn't even make... Check this out. I had 71 students apply for the esports team, okay? 71.
That is insane.
40 get randomly selected by a lottery system for equity, okay? And then they try out. 20 I keep. Piggy did not make the lottery. Piggy's now playing before you. He's champ 1, did not get to play on my esports team. And I thought, there's just something wrong here. I don't know how to quite explain it, but equity and access is great, but I also don't want to have to, I think next year I'm going to run off of 12 students max. I'm going to take myself away from the club. The club rules are like, if you're going to host a club, it's got to be equitable and it's got to be fair. I think I'd like to pull away from the club thing, make it more of a professional team thing, so I can have real tryouts that are pretty intense.
Oh, that would be insane. I mean, I personally, I would like to be a part of that and just kind of see the amount of talent that you guys have to, to offer. Because even if I'm, barely a part of the entire operation, it would be nice, for those kids to see, okay, there's like, college, maybe not a scout per se, but the person who has
for sure though,
over
yeah.
College, even if it's just Rocket League, I'm sure I could even get some of the other guys. I'm not sure what other esports you are part of currently, but even if I could probably get the administrator too. Bernardo, he'd probably love
Oh, Bernardo would be super pumped. Yeah. I would like that. Would actually be pretty fun to do something as a nice collab in the future. Oh, and it's going to be an opportunity. Let's see if Blue can tie it up with a minute in about 15 seconds. Oh,
it's wide open.
Just takes it. I tell you, the spikes, they feel like they're OP to me.
They've always kind of been that way.
Right?
There's never really been the honestly, they used to be much more OP than they are now, which is insane to think about. But right now, I believe the timer is 7 seconds on the max time that you can be.
Don't tell me it was like 15 seconds.
It used to be, I believe, 12.
Oh, it should be like 1 second. I'm already so upset about it.
I mean, that's like I said, it's the RNG of Rumble. I mean,
you're right.
Plunger, in my opinion, of Rumble, and I'm very, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm champ level in Rumble at best. And that's probably just because of raw talent elsewhere, not even using the particular power ups.
Sure.
But I think Plunger and Spikes are by far the best. And maybe S tier quality is like the punching glove. I forget what it's called. There's another wide open net.
Oh my gosh, with 24 seconds left too. You hate to see that, especially coming from Ooh, and Piggy lost connection. That's going to be one of...
Uh-oh.
But with 12 seconds left, it might be all they need. Oh, and it's just missed here. Is it going to be enough to take it to game 3? You hope to see something.
Oh my god.
Tossed around by a tornado, and it's... Oh, it's actually 1-1 in the series. Actually, James Monroe looking to sweep what would be an upset.
Wow. That was a very
wow.
hectic last few seconds. Hopefully they're going to get their third to rejoin here. That was an insane last few seconds.
I'm telling them to play 2v2 here. They're saying, what if my...
It says 2v2.
Not playing...
He says no.
We have...
So what did... I'm curious what happened to Piggy.
I don't know.
They seem fairly adamant.
Alright, let's see. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get a game. If not, we will jump back and see what happens here. They're like, we are not playing 2v2. I was like, well, that seems to be the only good thing I could think of.
I guess, looks like, was it, did he get there? Can't tell. Wow.
Alright, here we go. And, let's see if we can jump on in. It's gonna be...
Well, that was a rather hectic start.
Yeah.
Oh.
Perfect. So we're going to jump into 2v2 and we're going to let that game run its course. I'm happy that that's going to take place. I'd like to leave the match here in a second and see if we can check out what's happening between the other squads. Looks like NMSU defeats La Cueva High School, and that's, you know, that's unfortunate here.
I think that's going to be 2 NMSU squads, if I can remember correctly the names.
Poggers and
yeah, I could be wrong, but I think their secondary squad typically goes with a name similar to that.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay, I remember these names from last week, so we are gonna jump on in, and looks like ECA, DH, and Weyer. I've seen these names before. Water Tribe. Oh, let's see. And NMSU is in the lead here, but we're going to take a look at what team do we have here in blue.
Don't know, to be honest with you.
It could be from another league I'm a part of, just recreationally, from Arizona. I know the first week Pro Team Shakes came out of that league, you know, and I sent something out in their Discord like, hey, we're running this tournament, you know, and the admin was like, hey, you got to run stuff by me, you know, and then a bunch of people hit me up like, hey man, can you let me know when you're running that tournament? You know, so I sent it to him, and I thought that was cool, you know, because people, like, you may have 5 teams this week, probably have 15 teams next week, you know, and so the fun part is, like I said earlier, the consistency of it through July is the fact that people go, oh, well, what will it be next week? I'll be planning for it, you know, which I think we'll have another 3s standard, correct?
I believe so. We could even do 2s if we wanted to, but I'll have to ask around, see if anyone... I do want to comment on the game, though. That was an insane use of the boxing glove. He pinched it on the ground using the boxing glove and pinched it full field. I have to give credit to that, where credit is due.
Yeah, I didn't even think about necessarily giving that credit. Way to regrade that assignment. That is definitely worth a reread. That was a good one.
But yeah, and but yeah, like I said, I was gonna ask around. I know in particular UNM. I didn't see them when we were looking at the tournament thing or the bracket, which I'm going to have some choice words for them in the coming minutes after the stream is over. And another great dribble. Oh my.
Oh my gosh, Epi just breaks the axles off of Stoic, unfortunately, but they have a fighting chance. It's 2 to 4 here, I think.
2 minutes, and 2 minutes is an eternity for Rocket League, but we'll have to see if they can recover. Going down 2 is never fun, even though you do have almost half the game to recover from it.
Oh
The thing about Rumble 2 is, like I said, with the going from one end to the other. So
I love when you just kick the other player. Like your move, like literally your move with the shoe, is just to kick somebody like as hard as you can. Like
I always thought the shoes were so annoying.
They are.
You'd think, oh, and that's a great move. Epi seems to be a very competent Rumble player. He's had some very good moves.
Epi's killing it.
Yeah, that was a great use of the plunger there. He had that spikes play earlier as well. I am getting a call from my mother. I will be right back.
All right, we're gonna jump on into JMMS, see how we're doing here.
Apologies, I'll explain that later. Anyway, I am back.
All right, with looks like a minute and a half remaining, we're gonna have our middle schools competing with. It looks like 3 players are back again, 2 to 3, minute and 28. I'm actually really surprised. Like I was mentioning earlier, I think that Rumble provides an equalizer in many ways, as I do think Orange could outplay Blue on a traditional 3v3, but with this offset and this skill category, it does have a huge impact. One of these teams is going to be playing the ones we just saw, and I think that's going to be real wild.
Well, I mean, like I was saying with the underpass earlier, I mean, if you're not used to this kind of game mode, or map in general, it is equaling, like the equaling factor, like you were saying, is immense, because even the better players don't know exactly how to play under these circumstances.
Oh my gosh, is it going to be enough with 37 seconds left? The 6th grader, Joey, puts it in, bar down, and shows the 8th grader who shares the same room with Dr. Harvey. What's up? I love esports. It's crazy.
That was, I thought, I think Piggy was right there with a super strength.
And it's going to be it looks like a chance for Piggy to take it up.
And he took it. Oh my god, what a great dribble.
Are you kidding me?
He was right on the goal line for that previous goal, and he just took it into his own hands to get the lead back.
He just took all the air out of poor Joey, the 6th grader, who was probably feeling on top of the world, and then is flipped over, and then on top again. Looks like Magic is going to be able to pull a little bit of magic here.
Yeah, that's just good control there. I mean, that's 2 quick kickoff goals, and that honestly, as much as like the great flick there by Magic, and even the dribble that played beforehand by Piggy, that could be addressed by a blue team if they were to just kind of focus a little bit more on kickoff and not commit as hard. But you can't take away the credit by the 2 dribblers, because their initiative.
I mean, it's still possible that something happens. Oh, and it's missed. There's some offensive rush here by Blue, but I think it's a little bit late to kind of. Wow, Frozen just delaying the inevitable, seeing what's going to happen here. It comes down, popped in. Oh, and it's almost put in. Great play. Great job.
That was simply just a great controlled game there by Good Boys, who I think you said is I don't remember. Oh, Theodore Roosevelt? No?
Eisenhower, yeah. Every middle
Eisenhower.
school is in Albuquerque is named after a president, at least for public school.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. And they're on the east side, so we have a little bit of a rivalry. I like that. They'll be all moving on, so we'll see how that program progresses. Looks like Poggers NMSU is still going on. NMSU beating Poggers 9-2 on the first game. We're going to spectate and see what's happening. What the heck's happening?
That looks like...
That looks tough here.
That definitely looks like it could be a difficult one for Poggers to come back from. Being outscored by 7 goals is never fun.
No, it looks like that game, yeah, wow. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Holy cow.
But I mean, a minute into this one and they're tied still, so you got to give them at least a little bit of hope. They're playing well, considering that.
Yeah.
Having given up 9 goals previously, that's pretty much 2 goals, 1.5-ish, 2 goals a game, or a minute rather. So they're at least improving on that front so far.
The second game is always more difficult, and I always make these hockey parallels, and I like it because hockey is a lot of movement like soccer. It just continuously goes, and if you play a team on let's say Friday night, on Saturday night when you play them again, oh man, the second time's even crazier and the fans love it. In hockey you always play Friday, Saturday, or you always play 2 games, kind of like baseball, you have a series. And the games start to get wild. I would imagine if you played 2 best-of-3s on a Friday and Saturday against the same university, Saturday night would be a tough match.
Oh, I mean, I remember I've been to a few of the, our UNM hockey games as well, and I've seen, both the Friday and Saturday games against same schools occasionally, and I can 100% agree with what you were saying. I mean, the first game, it's almost like they're feeling each other out, they don't want to, nice shot there, a little
yes.
shifty, maybe not the best contact, but he did just enough to get it around the last defender there.
Yeah.
But, going back to the hockey analogy, yeah, I mean, it's the first game feeling each other out, especially for teams that have never heard of each other, like, probably like these 2 teams. But then the second game is just full bore, I'm just going to go, as hard as I possibly can. I know what they're capable of. I want to beat them down to the ground, especially if you lost game 1. That was a great air dribble there by Epi, who I believe, in my personal opinion, if we gave out the awards, would be the MVP of this tournament so far.
Yeah, Epi's on fire. And it's not 9-2 or 7-2, whatever it is, or 9. Yeah, was that what it was? The score? Jeez.
It was 9-2. The previous game, it was 7-goal differential. I mean, they are playing. Padres are playing much better this game. I mean, it's only 2 goals down. Half the game remaining, but things can change.
Ooh, popped up. Is it going to be something? Oh my gosh.
I always love it.
You never...
At the start of that play.
Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed to control it?
I don't, oh my god, and the bumping in front of goal, and oh my goodness. This is the beauty of Rumble, though. It is so hectic. And that was actually a great use of the boot there that I just saw, taking away the opportunity of the spikes by just taking him off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, popped in Epi, like you were saying, MVP gonna get a chance to try and put this in again. Boom. Boom.
Wow. That's just a good shot. I mean,
Side bump.
Looked as if the person in net was probably low on boost as well. But I mean, that's just, it's smart, it's smart by Epi there to put it high.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see exactly who, I think it was Moxtron, who was in net. He probably didn't have boost there because that was just well-placed shot. Hard to save anyway, but especially hard to save if you didn't have boost.
Wow, and Epi trying to put another one away, and I think it ends up being an assist.
How did he end up stealing that? What happened?
I don't know I don't know what just happened. It seemed like Epi was the last one to put that one in.
Oh, so the guy behind him had I believe that was a magnet,
Oh.
and he initiated the magnet right before the ball went in the net, so it counted, quote unquote, that it was his, but it was more of a calculated goal steal than any of his effort.
Okay, well done. I always enjoy stealing my friends' goals in Rocket League, so you know, no boo-hoo there. It all goes on the board. It's just who gets to take the XPs. Well, it's whatever. Water Tribe trying to do something, but it's going to be stolen here by Epi.
That guy's everywhere, it seems like.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be uppercutted or downcutted. I don't know what you call it in this case.
Oh,
Downcutted? Downcutted? I don't know what you call that one. Sucker
like
punched?
Yeah, like a Superman punch, I guess, maybe.
Okay, okay.
From the ceiling down. That's difficult to do. I mean, just probably a button spam there, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah, just give it the old button spam and smash the old boxing gloves. I love a good hit from across the the pitch. You give the old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and no one sees it coming.
Oh no. I mean, especially when you do it at the right time. People are rotating out. They think they have time, to take kind of a break, maybe get some boost, and then all of a sudden, the ball
boom,
is
yeah.
towards your head.
In the last minute, slowly NMSU has kind of given a little bit of leeway to their goal scoring ability. It looks like everyone's getting involved here.
Yeah, I was actually enjoying Pogger's, just ability to not give in as many as they did in the first game. Obviously, we didn't see them do it.
Right.
But, 6 is, you still lose by a handful of goals. But, sometimes when you're being beaten by a team that's, better than you, sometimes it's just better to look at, how you improve from game to game. That's how I always tell my players, to keep their heads up. Even if they're better than us, we can learn from it.
Oh, and it's still going up here. You got to enjoy the entertainment value of the 0-second gameplay.
I don't understand how that stayed up there on the wall. I could have sworn that was down.
There's some wild things happening here. It looks like NMSU going to move on, and we're going to have the Eisenhower Middle School versus the NMSU B team, I believe. And then on the good boys, one of those students is my own, so that's kind of nice. Let's see what happens here. I'm really interested in how they. I don't think they're performing at Epi's level, and I don't know how Epi's going to be matched up with, with my students. We'll see. But here's what we got: college middle school finals.
Yeah, I wonder if Epi is a sneaky cake, because I know he can change his name, and I'm curious because he does look rather. I don't recognize the name Epi, so I'm curious if that could be what
and I'm
we're
not
witnessing
sure.
here.
I think Cake is a female gamer. I'm not sure if I've seen Epi around. I might have seen even Epi in game and Cake on this. I don't know. I've been playing. I'll have to see. But shout out to them for making it to the finals. Either way, we know you have talent. We know you got talent. It is clear.
They had to go from, first round. I mean, obviously it's not that big of a tournament today, unfortunately, but I mean, they still had to beat 2 people to get to the finals, whereas your students only had to, beat the other middle school team, so just maybe asserting their dominance.
Let me see, we're going to go check out what's happening here with...
Worst case, we can just invite both teams, I think.
Yeah, we can always invite both teams if we have to.
There should be a way. They should be able to join tournament. Epi is Epi, Cake is Cake, and also Cake is your guy. Oh, okay, well then you can but there should be an option there in the main menu if they're playing in the tournament. they go to tournaments and then my tournaments, and then there should be a way to play in it.
Okay. See if that starts for them. It looks like it hasn't started yet. Joining. I'm gonna try and spectate and see if anyone joins this. And another player canceled. Let's see, spectate. Picky had to leave, so we had to play with Bongo. Okay. Okay. Well, we can make a private match if you want to tell NMSU.
I can see if I can get in contact with them.
Let's see. Stay as a team. Alright. I will back out of here and I will create a new match. See if I can get in. I guess we'll just make a new tournament and we'll invite them to do the same thing. Same credentials. No?
I can.
Different thing?
Hold on. Let me see if I can really quickly get in contact with an MSU. And see if they. We can just make it a private match and do like a best of 3.
We'll keep this going here. Thanks for your patience here, folks. Okay, kid. Pardon me, I'm trying to read here the screen. Cake is a dude, perfect. I didn't know, I'm just, I wasn't sure here. Raven King, we tried. Good job. Well, Epi is happy. Cake is cake. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. You're both awesome players. And sorry, I don't know. I was just trying to figure things out. We're gonna try and figure this out. Looks like NMSU. We're going to make a private match with you and try and get this going like that. In the meantime, I'm gonna put this on the hold screen. Okay, so if I just create another one, but I call it, give a different password, we could just have it be best of 3.
Yeah.
And they still get the championship.
Magic one of your players, right?
Pardon me?
Magic is one of your players?
Yeah. We could invite them all together. Let's see, who am I recent? Oh, I could invite them, I could add them, yeah. Okay.
I can't seem to find any of the NMSU players that are either not appearing online.
I have them here for me, Adam. I have my recent players since I made the tournament.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna go ahead and add them real quick. I'm gonna bring them into the lobby.
Or bring me in as well.
Yeah, see if I can do that. Where are you at, Fossil? Am I your buddy here?
Don't know if we are.
I don't know if I am.
Quickly go into here.
Play online. We're going back and create private match. Create private match. We're gonna call it Rumble. Team settings.
What is your Steam?
Shoot. Educated Lobo, I believe. And we have okay. And it's gonna be. Excuse us here, folks, for figuring this out. We're gonna do match length, custom series, best of 3, back, name and password. Okay, and
to send you my Steam friend code real quick. That should do it.
Great. We're gonna create it. It's gonna be called Boost. Its name and password is gonna be Boost. Let's see. Play private match. All right. Let's see if we can do that for the players here. So if you're able to tune in here, we're going to be doing our finals in a private match. If you're NMSU and you're watching, the name and password will be Boost. If you are on if you are EMMS, make sure you and you're listening, you type in the same. I think we'll be fine doing it that way.
Did you invite them via your tournament?
Yeah, let me.
Like your recent players? Because you could do that.
I could just invite them into my party, or what do you mean? Invite them?
Yeah, so if you go to, like for example, you go to your players list, go over to recent players, and if you click on them, like I can click on you now that we were in that previous thing, you can click on their name and then you can just either add them or I have to add them via Rocket ID,
Okay.
and then you can invite them.
And I'll let these guys know it's Boost.
Grande is one of the MSU guys, isn't he?
Yeah. Okay, hopefully they are able to do that. Yes.
Yeah. Accepts it.
Okay, we're making it happen here. Okay, we're getting down to the final bit here. And, ooh, I got your ID number, perfect. Cool.
Hello, Brian in chat. That's one of my players. What's happening right now? Okay. Well, if we can get one of the NMSU guys to respond, and then
It's like one of them said, "Do we leave the tournament?" I said, "Yes. Thanks for your patience. Good luck in the finals." Private match.
yeah, tell him the private match information.
Yeah, Boost.
And is that the EMS guy or is that the NMSU guy?
That's the NMSU guy.
Yeah, so tell him the private match info. I don't know if they see it.
One of the other guys said he can't leave.
Can't leave the tournament?
Okay. Well, play it out and we can finish this after that. We can.
This is weird. This is another Rocket League's tournament system. Love it, hate it.
I know it's tough, and then we were just talking with Cake earlier about it. You know, like, can we do it on a separate thing? I was like, I know, it just makes it difficult. We can wait and have the tourney. And wait, can I end the tourney myself? Let's see.
Might be able to.
Let me leave real quick. See what I can do. my tournament. Yeah, it looks like okay, well, finish out the game for fun, and
So are they playing like a 2v3 currently, or?
I'll have to jump in. Okay. Looks like it might be done. Okay. Cool. We'll back out and we'll go, like we said, and create our private match. Cool. Cool. They're gonna probably jump in here in a second. Yeah, and they're getting ready to go. Looks like cool. We're gonna be able to just work with the difficulties. I know that's part of it all, is sometimes everything doesn't work out the way you want, but that's the way it is. And we're going to be all right.
So we got us two, and then we got NMSU. So where is...
EMMS said, hold on, like, they're getting it rebooted here, and they said, okay. And it looks like NMSU is waiting patiently. I like that. They're doing... they're showing some good sportsmanship here. I know it can be so frustrating.
I haven't done this on PC before, but I am currently in spectator mode and free cam, going up and down like some sort of bird in the in the
Really?
right now. No. I used to do this all the time when I was on Xbox. I've not done it in quite some time.
Oh my goodness. Alright, thanks for joining the stream here. Looks like we have a few people here. Tyler, Brian, looks like maybe some UNM players. Let's see here. Stream isn't loading. What is happening to me? Kenneth says welcome. Magic's joining in. Bongo Cat's there. Sims here. We're ready to go. You gotta love the patience by both sides. Shout out to NMSU for making it to the finals and showing a lot of patience here with my middle schoolers, who you never know what they're doing. I'm like, what is taking you so long? Here we are. Finals, best of 3, Rumble, week 3, Rio Grande Rocket League Summer Series. Here with Fossil. Let's take it away. Wow. Kicks Epi, Bongo Cat. You know, you don't see a middle schooler kick a college kid too often. This ain't TikTok.
Oh my, this is gonna be... I'm curious to see how the middle schoolers can, excuse me, kind of keep up, because we've been seeing Epi kind of run the show for the majority of this tournament, and of course there is...
Speaking of the devil, it looks like Epi puts it away, right? Wow.
This is playing on the geometry right now.
So Epi blew up though, right? I mean, just it went in. It was afterlife.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, afterlife points.
That was just a boomer off the wall that was unreadable. And there he is again. I swear, this man, easily the MVP. If they pull through for this final, he's easily the MVP of the tournament. Yeah,
it looks like there's a little bit of a mix-up down there, and who's gonna jump on? Looks like the Sim goes dang, please. Looks like a little bit of a mix-up there on the Eisenhower side.
Well, they could just be a little bit. Oh, great! I'm going for something here, but they could just be a little bit frazzled. I mean, 2 goals really early on in the game, especially even just with the mental block of I'm playing against a college team. Could be.
Oh, wow! And it's gonna be put in with a little bit of Harry Potter magic. Watch what had to happen for this to even work. Had to get the spikes, then it was switched out, which was then brought in by the tornado. I mean, holy.
That tornado was maybe the most calculated thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Not only
It's not usually the tornado, right?
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, I think it was Magic who initially had spikes there, and his demo then gave way to the tornado, making that just amazing. Oh my, what a shot!
Popped right off the crossbar by somebody's mean glove. I don't know who that was, and Epi's going to get a chance to maybe do a touch. Doesn't, stays back to super meh. And I can tell that, Orange looks a little bit frazzled. However, there's a chance here to make it 2-2. Oh, and is it going to happen? No!
This might be a breakaway.
So close.
Here.
And it's just taken in. And, this game could go either way. That should have been a goal, I think, for Eisenhower Generals.
That was definitely right up there with. You can chalk that with missed opportunities by Eisenhower.
Man, that was close.
We will see. I mean, 3 minutes left. It's Rumble, like I've been saying. And I mean, 3 minutes. Is a long time for Rocket League.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this defensive play. This worked on the last series, right? But not this one.
Oh my. Epi is just ending their careers right now, and maybe figuratively at least.
Yeah, I mean this is a whole nother level here. I think hopefully this helps expand the middle school students' perspective. Epi trying to do something here. Looks like Magic gonna try and play some defense, take it off the wall, bounce back. 4-1, and with half the game gone, I wonder if middle school can put a few more away. Ooh.
That grappling almost sent another one in, and then MTZ just.
Wow, where did he come from?
He pre-jumped this from, I think, inside his own half.
Look at that. Beautiful. Nice goal there. Putting it to 5-1. NMSU. Giving it to us. Let's see what happens here. Oh, beautiful block.
Good there.
Epi hits one.
It's putting it right back in the middle, and the alarm is there. This is starting to get messy.
Plat 3, Epi says.
Okay, time to sim.
Middle schoolers are feeling the heat.
Oh my goodness.
My students, I don't know where they get this stuff, but it's good. Okay.
It'd be nice to see if they can. Oh, that was actually a great clear there.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, beautiful shot there to pass it up by Sim. It's going to be a chance there for Magic to... Oh, and it's frozen. Really grinds his gears. Sim, no one getting a chance. It's fallen. Oh, and it's blocked. Wow, there's too much going on with a minute 55. I hope middle school here, squad Eisenhower, can get some offense. Bonko can't missing it. Getting blown up. There it is. Magic trying to do something and puts it away with a little purple haze in the purple forest. Look at that.
That was a great use of a plunger there. Just catches them out of rotation. It's just a beautiful thing to do there.
Okay.
I mean, you may look at the score and say this game's over, but it is Rumble.
You never know. Look at this. Bongo Cat bumping it with Magic off the ceiling. That's some great teamwork. Wow.
You can start seeing some of this team play that could change the dynamic of the next game. Now as it's getting closer to 1 minute, score's still 6-2. This game can pretty much be considered to be over now, but if we can start seeing Eisenhower start putting together more kind of team play using their uh, what's it called? Totally blank minding right now. Power ups, sorry.
Yeah.
If they start using them in coordination with each other, this could really kind of.
Oh, I would love to see something crazy like that. Yeah. If you're starting to coordinate power-ups and stuff, you're that's some wild stuff. Oh, I'm hoping for some more calls, though. You know, I'd like to see it be 3-6. It's me popping it up, giving a nice, good chance, but taken out here. Epi in the corner. It's a tornado. It's curling in like a curveball. Bongo Cat.
Spikes, but immediately as they're met, Effie again throws it into the corner. Alarm gets a nasty flick. I don't know this. Oh,
Epi trying to work with it. It's like stringing a yo-yo in the dark. Oh, and it's Magic getting a little bit of some spikes, bumping it into the corner. And if he stays on the wall, tries to own goal and does.
It was well done on the own goal, I have to admit.
You know, you got to do whatever you got to do in overtime. I don't know how that extra jump even counted, to be honest. I really thought the game was over. Awesome.
You mean at 0 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, so the ball, even though he has the ball attached to him, the ball itself isn't on the ground yet.
Oh, there you go, yeah. All right, Bongo Cat with 130 points, probably one of the weaker members, but still performing here. And I would say against some pretty tough talent. Remember, this is Rumble, so there's a little bit of an equalizing factor here, I think, for my players. You could see it with Magic's play when Magic was moving up on the hoop, you know, and getting on the lip of his car, and then went for the flick, and Epi was like, no, I'm already prepared.
Thanks for hurting me on a personal level.
Epi joining. What did they say before? What were they saying? No, 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 no to?
I was saying, I told to the NMSU guys that I'm going to bring a UNM team in and show them up later.
When they... That's great. We're having some fun here. New Mexico representing what they love, and we're going into it. Game 2 of a potential 3. You know, and all you guys are listening to Billie Eilish. All right, here we go. 2 of 3. New Mexico versus New Mexico. We have the Wolves fighting the Coyotes, it feel like. Aggies, everyone, Roadrunners, everyone's after each other here in New Mexico, I feel like. This is esports.
What just happened?
I don't know. It looks like we have all our players in, but they're teleporting. There's some wild things happening here. Thanks for joining the stream here, Brian, and the real Simon. Thanks. Yeah, it's good to get your little messages out there. Who's gonna win this match here? And you know, I just had a quick question for all you people watching. What's the best PC controller to play Rocket League with? I can't, you know, I don't want a wired one because then the little micro USB and that stuff starts to wiggle out and you disconnect in the game. I'm talking pro controllers, I'm talking scuffs. What's the best here? I mean, I have a Nacon version 3 and my joystick popped out here, you know. I want to, in a game like this, I couldn't perform because my car would do that weird thing where it doesn't actually flip. It just kind of does that Superman thing and you're embarrassed. Yeah. Oh!
That was an interesting double commit. That could have been really bad for NMSU if they missed
that. What were you saying? Sorry about that. I didn't interrupt you with the double commit. Beautiful put in.
Yeah, that would have missed it, but double commit wasn't there.
Man, that was a sick hit. They both came in so just... We're coming in at it. Oh, trying to get something else, but they're there too. They're on defense. They're there again on defense. Epi's everywhere. Grand alarm.
From EMS.
What controller does Epi use? That's what I want.
Yeah, right. Well, from my knowledge, a lot of people use, there's the standard Xbox controller and then there's the standard PS4 controller, because I personally have an adapter for my computer that allows an Xbox controller to connect to it wirelessly.
Okay.
So that's what I use. I know a lot of people kind of have similar things. That was a use of power-ups there by Epi.
I mean, it was frozen, but he had the eternal boost. Oh, look at that. Activates the crazy boost.
Well, he gets the superpower and just double jumps into it, and it just launches it.
Here we go. Middle schoolers feeling the heat. 2.5 minutes left. Middle school versus college. It's 2-0. NMSU leading the series. So far, 1-0.
Happy with the demo and another one of those superpowers. He's gotten
Magic trying to do something. Getting those aerials looking good. You know, I imagine most schools in New Mexico are gonna want Magic. Oh, and it's me. Tries to point the fact out that they're involved too in the game. Look at that. Boom.
There was so many shots.
Wow, look at that. Wham bam. Look at that. Was that how what are you supposed to do about that? Excellent.
It's so hectic. It's so hard to read. Let's see. I mean, honestly, 2 minutes. There's still a chance here for. Oh, well, no, I say that.
Wow, and Grand Alarm gets a chance to put it in the corner, bounces off the corner, and then actually gets the rebound read. I told Epi says standard threes next week. He goes, no! I'm sure there's going to be like 15, 17 teams next week, all just savagely waiting for revenge. But
Right, yeah.
we did this on purpose, right? I mean, we did want to make sure that we kind of changed it up.
Yeah.
Because we do want the standard threes to be strong, or standard two, not standard, but I mean, like, you know, basic twos, nothing crazy. Maybe the week after next we do a hoops twos or something.
That'd be fun. Something like that. You could even do like something like Boomer Mode or something like that.
I tried to make a Boomer Mode private match, but it won't let me.
Really?
Yeah, for tournaments, I couldn't make a Boomer Mode.
I'll have to see if I can
I
do
tried
it.
that. I was looking because I think Cake on NMSU was like, let's do Boomer Mode, and I was like, all right, that'd be fun to humor you. Yeah, of course, sounds like a cool idea. Nope, can't do it, and I felt really bad. Oh, nice try there by Epi to do the old dip and flick there.
Yeah, that was like almost like a tornado flick, but he had spikes and he just timed it so perfectly to release them. And oh, that's an angle.
Epi. Gonna
I
get
want
the
to say
goal.
that this was accidental, but this almost looked purposeful. I'm curious here because he falls off the wall here. I don't think he means to do that, but
Oh, Magic. Poor guy. Our comms.
oh god, I would love to have a.
Abe.
Oh,
Middle school esports is, I'll tell you what, is very difficult. And I teach middle school and I teach college, so like, I can totally feel the pressure here from the middle school squad as when when they've lost it, and there's no way of getting them back. You know, like he said, ape noises. Seriously, Dr. Harvey, join the call. I can't join the call. I can't. If I join the call during the stream, it might be just too ridiculous. 54 seconds. Magic trying to make something happen. It looks like they're all just screaming. I can just tell by the way they're playing. It's super hilarious. Bongo Cast just kicked.
it's even better to think about as things are going on in the game.
I would join, folks, but I guarantee that if you, I don't want to do that to your speakers in your head or wherever you're listening to. Because my middle school students, I tell you what, they can rage. In a good way, nothing bad, but you know, I've heard my fair share of sirens and things at EDC, and I don't necessarily need that right now.
I
Trying to make something happen. Flick, Grand Alarm, trying to do something fancy. Almost gets the tap off the wall. Gonna give a chance for It's Me to take it off the wall. Best of 5, no. Best of 3. Good work to everyone. B. GG to NMSU. And he joined. Oh my gosh.
I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna add some of them just so I can have them underneath. Friends, quick, FB, gonna add you just because.
You all are awesome. Next week, normal 3s. Think you might play again. Shh.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't get that many teams this week, and unfortunately, the middle school didn't seem to be enjoying it as much as we would have hoped.
No,
But
yeah.
I mean, bringing content to the YouTubes, always good.
Looks like, I don't know if you're out of the game or not. Some of them want to do a little bit more. I don't know if you wanted to play in this one just for some fun. I'm not sure. Looks like we... yeah, I'll join. Let's see. Yeah, see if we can join.
See what we do.
I don't know what we got here. Yeah. Well, so far so good. Looks like they're gonna be in. If not, well, if they drop out, it looks like they're gonna play again for fun. I'm interested to see why they're. They want more. They want more. All right. Well, the game's been won, but I'm not sure what's happening. Looks like Fossil will be ready on command because I have a feeling one of these cats might leave early for dinner. I thought. Ooh, all right. Everyone's kicking each other. Looks like this is a different game mode, but it's not. It's the same old random luck of what do you get. I mean, do you feel like you get one thing more than another?
Oh, I mean, I was telling you earlier, I have the worst luck when it comes to this type of game mode. It drives me absolutely insane. I feel like I always get, I think it's, what's it called, teleporting, the teleport. I get that the most, and it basically does nothing.
In the right circumstance, it can be absolutely lethal. But in the most of the time, I feel like I just end up swapping with someone like 10 feet away. Oh, Bongo Cat showing a little bit of 8th grade pride.
They are getting a little bit. I believe NRSU is getting DDoS. It looks like. I'm looking at their ping throughout this game, and they've been spiking here, there, and everywhere. So I'm curious if they're getting maybe not DDoS.
There's some malicious potential things happening. No, I don't think my kids can code JavaScript, let alone DDoS attack someone. So, however, I do teach them to code. Doesn't mean that they are perfect at it.
Maybe they're just what's the word? They're not letting you know exactly what they're capable of.
Yeah, and I mean, Bongo Cat doesn't typically play with these guys, and Sim just started playing a couple weeks ago. Sim got Magic into gaming and playing Rocket League, and then he stopped, and now he's back into it. And so I think he's like, man, my friend's a lot better now. I wish I would have kept up. I told like all my good players that are young, you know, I said if you stick out and you're good at esports, like we play Super Smash, we play Clash Royale, we play games that are rated pretty much T for teen. On the side, they play all the other typical shooter games, but you know, I can't.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
I can't really be promoting it per se, so I let them, you know, we'll go play on the side, but we won't join NMSU's 3v3 tournament coming up, you know. Ooh, watch our rotations. Just watch them. And Magic's a kid I think, you know, you're going to see, oh, he's going to get a lot of offers. Like, we had one of our 8th grade casters, you know, get, you know, taken aside to by Boise State saying, hey, you know, you're really, really good. you're 13. You got this cultured voice. You're animated. You're professional. We'd love you to come down and check this out, you know, and think about, you know. And so I thought that's really neat for someone who goes, what's Boise State? And I go, for one, this is really, really cool, dude. And if you don't know, they have the blue football field. Like, oh, okay. And I'm like, all right. Anyways, look them up.
Oh yeah, Boise State. That's actually really amazing for him to have gotten that opportunity. Personally, I wish I would have kind of advertised myself in that realm a little bit more, simply because I would have loved to. I personally didn't know Boise had as in-depth of an esports thing as they do. They have an amazing setup. They got full broadcasting studio, full.
Right.
I love Boise State. I'm kind of jealous of it, to be honest. But,
Oh, wow.
what am I watching?
What is happening? Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay.
Pretty sure they're all ball shirts.
So we're just getting some fun games in here by the community. It looks like some of the players going for ceiling shots. But it is a closer game. But anything can happen in Rumble. Oh, Epi finds a way to jump and spin.
Oh my. Geometry yet again. And phone goals.
Shot by a boot. Kicks Magic into the net.
Oh, I'd be off the ceiling. That would have been insane. Oh, what a dunk.
And it's, you know, it's, I was thinking about the longevity of it too, you know, just because my kids can't play, you know, let's say like Valorant. They're still playing it. They're still learning this stuff. So by the time these kids are like, you know, getting on into high school and getting all the way into college, they're going to be, dude, they'll be comfortable in the gaming scene. They're going to be all comfortable with the esports, academia, scholar, gamer stuff. I think,
Oh yeah.
I think they'll definitely stand out. Like, in the long run, the New Mexico gamer, I think, should stand out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm jealous of what these kids are growing up into. I think esports are going to take off in the next year or two, especially with all the, you know, not division, but the you know, separation that we're having to deal with right now because of coronavirus. Like, I think esports is going to take off in the global scene.
Right. Wow. Look at the poise to stop and just be like, yeah, I kind of know what's here. Just jump.
I like, that was a nice assist though. He got not booted, but the punching glove, because he had spikes and it, he was like on top of the ball. It launched him into the net.
It has to be PG.
PG.
I can invite you to their comms. Let's see, that might be fun here. Deal. Alright, so I'm gonna join their thing and invite you.
Or just screaming. I don't know if I want.
I got it.
Pepega? Pepega. Remember, boys. Pepega.
Lower,
Pepega.
do not scream here, folks. Welcome.
Wait, watch this.
Pepega. 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 Boys! Pepega!
Oh no! Oh no!
Alright, here, let's join, let's get our buddy in here. Let's add
Oh wait!
Pepega.
Fossil.
Pepega. Pepega. Pepega.
I got it.
Alright, welcome back here. We're now with the comms here with our middle school squad. Invited Fossil back into the mix. Hopefully Fossil joins us.
Pepega. Pepega. Pepega.
Hold on, I'm rotating.
Yeah, it looks like Fossil's in the mix. Thanks for joining us, Fossil.
I'm rotating. I reported the server just in case.
Pepega. Keep on the no.
That's okay. I made sure to lower you guys on Discord so you're not blowing up the stream on everybody here. Brazil. Oh, man. Should we put
Yeah, one more game, guys.
one more game?
One more. Just one more.
30 seconds set up there.
Do you guys want Fossil on board?
Oh yeah. All right, let's get this. Okay, guys. Remember pro comms. Remember just like last game. Okay.
Yeah, pro comms. Remember
Pro
Pepega?
rotates,
Remember
pro
Pepega?
rotates,
Pepega cheesecake.
Pro ability.
Yeah. And plugfish. Remember.
Fuckfish.
Server went down for maintenance.
Oh wait, I'm in.
Pogfish.
Alright, Markfish. I'm in.
Wait for everyone to join.
Okay, alright, I'm joining.
Why'd you join blue?
No, Simon.
Simon.
Are we restarting the? No, Simon. You can't join. The game's gonna start now.
No, I'm just.
Wait, are we
Are we
restarting it?
making a new server?
The server died.
The server died.
Oh, just leave.
I'm listening to Billie Eilish right now. I think it's really helping me.
I'm listening to just chill vibes
Great.
on Spotify.
I'm listening
Back.
to chill vibes to study / chills. /chills.
Create
Is that
tournament.
YouTube?
Is the name Boost and then the
Oh
password
my
Boost?
gosh, are we just gonna play? We're just gonna play a regular one here for fun. It's just gonna be boost and boost. Fine.
We were making a tournament?
No, we're not making a tournament. We're just making a match here just to make
Is
it.
it regular 3v3?
We'll have to see, because I'm not even sure if anime, so you just get to rejoin. So it might
Yeah.
it might just be a match between us.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, it might be. We'll thank them. I know that got kind of confusing and the server died here, so we'll just we'll get a little match in.
Yeah, Bongo Cat broke the server.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I broke the server.
Oh no, it's definitely because Biggie left the party.
Yeah, everything just blew up. Okay, no worries. That's super funny.
So basically what happened was,
Did you get to
yeah, he went to eat, and then I joined as the backup or the sub, and
We thought we were getting.
it was great.
Yeah, we thought we were actually gonna play with Bongo Cat.
Team setting.
That
Yeah.
would've been crazy, guys. We should get to eat.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, we're gonna just do something here for fun. Get Fossil a chance to play. Oh, it looks like the favorite map of your life. I'm gonna join the others.
Do you see?
Almost 1700.
Alright.
Wait, how? What?
What?
17.
1700.
Oh, well, okay. I'm only 1200.
Oh,
Yeah, keep
it'll
going.
be-
No, I'm
it'll be-
only 1100.
1100.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna have some fun. NMSU getting in there. Nice.
Oh wait, I never joined.
I mean, I'm only
Boost,
1100.
boost. Here we go.
I peak at
Oh, awesome.
well,
Bias is diamond.
no, I'm actually champ. I got champ back.
Trying to
Sorry,
spectate the
I'm
map
a
here.
little bummed.
Yeah, looks like we got some classic maps up here. It is not your average day here. I didn't want to make it a classic threes because, you know, that's next week. This is more of a, why'd you pick this map?
It says epic save. It literally said epic save.
Once again, we're on the stream here. We're listening to the crazy comms of my middle school students to tell you the kind of reality of what it's like to teach around these kids.
Alright.
It's like a sitcom. People behind me are just losing it. There's ape noises.
Then go into Pepega. Go to Pepega.
Yeah, rotating.
Logfish, then go Pepega. Pepega.
Simon, you only bump me. I'm the only person on the field getting bumped.
Fogfish.
Seriously. Oh, wait. He's missing. Oh, he's not mad like I thought he
Go
was.
back.
Be
Yeah, yeah.
courteous. Here you're on stream here,
Yeah,
folks. See
I'm
what we
up,
can
I'm
do.
Fogfish,
Come on, Sim, do something.
Fogfish. I'm not doing anything. I'm just spinning a circle.
You got
I got
this,
his
buddy.
snippets.
Come on, minute.
Yeah. Oh, I got bumped. I'm only getting bumped by my teammates. They're toxic.
Shut up.
Alright, we're going to
Rotate.
Bongo Cat, I'm rotating.
I rotated.
Why are you guys rotating? I bombed it downfield.
Yeah, I didn't trust you.
Wait, what if we rotate onto the other team?
Obviously, some trust issues at the middle school level. You know, you get
got
your
it.
heart
I
broken.
got-
All of a sudden, you're playing different, and you just Bongo Cat tying up the game, losing his crap. It's like he remembered his locker combo after 7 years. Holy smoke!
Cheesecake word.
Double commit.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Where was the
Don't
calm?
be
Where was the calm? Where was
suspicious.
the calm? You didn't listen. You didn't listen, Bongo Cat.
Epi sucks.
Epi's Epi's
I got
killing
I
it
got
here.
I got
Epi's killing it.
I'm scared, guys. I'm really scared. I'm really scared.
Oh, and grand alarm.
Guys, what are you
What's it in?
doing?
Bro, I got bumped! Look! I get bumped and then I wave dash like a freaking god.
Obviously
I'm
not.
kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Fossil, what is it like here to game with all of these guys?
God.
Boss, are you enjoying the bombs?
I mean, imagine a room
I
of
just
25 of these kids.
Imagine a room
That's
of
why
25
I-
adults saying for like an hour.
Oh, fish rock, fish rock.
I
I'm
mean,
rotating.
Fossil, is this crazy or what? You're like, this is what practice is like. You're like, oh, I want to get involved. I'm like, do
done.
you
I'm
understand the commitment you are making?
I'm done. I've really lagged. I've never lagged harder. I have 109 ping, guys. Your guys' carry is lagging. I can't exploit any.
New Mexico esports at its finest here, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
guess so.
I mean, I heard professional comms before, and they were singing.
I think this is
You know the
along
way.
the
In a
line.
place too
I'm-
high.
I think this is a
Do you guys have a song for us? I mean, I'm going
Oh.
on my way.
When
Well,
I
I mean,
was
our songs either
13,
take
I had my
highway
first
to hell or
Carry on my wayward son.
Oh, we have some choir people in the house too. You know, I think
Oh god,
Magic's
oh god, oh god,
We
oh
have
god.
one
Oh god, oh
player.
god, oh god, oh god.
Hey, Magic.
Magic's sitting in goal. I don't know what. Sim trying to do something.
He didn't want to sing.
Carry on my wayward son. Thank you. That's my rendition.
You know, you can't beat middle school esports because it's just candid. You
Who
can't.
are you?
No, I'm not going to do choir things.
Yeet. Shut up, dude.
We're trying to make it happen here.
I'm taking his boost.
What was that?
I got his boost.
Epi trying to run a clinic here on what is a comedy show here for
I'm gonna-
EMMS.
Can you not hit the ball?
Oh,
I'm done.
It's popped up. One more chance to take the ball back. I tell you what, this is a special event here today. NMSU.
Wait.
no way. Oh, score for us, Titus. Oh, fuck.
Magic changing teams.
No,
No,
wait. No, wait.
Fossil getting in.
I can't. There's no way we're winning.
Fossil, you gotta carry.
Come on, Fossil. Do what you can here.
There's no way we're winning. We have it.
Hogfish.
It's a mixer here at New Mexico Esports. We have UNM, we have JMMS, we have NMSU. We're just having a super good time here.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I said
Alright.
hogfish.
It's July 8th right now in the evening, and we don't need school. We don't need to be in a league. What we're doing right now is innovative. We're
No,
ball
it's fine.
chasing. We're doing big things.
I'm exploiting.
Oh, and we're
Wait, no,
teleporting
no, wait,
team.
You exploited the wrong way.
Oh, no.
No, I can't auto because it'll put me on your guys' team.
Oh, yeah.
No, so I have to do it the boring way.
Boring way. Hold on, I'm exploiting.
No! I'm so bad.
Joining EMS, it's a 4-on-4, and now we're getting Dr. 450 in the mix because, well, there's 39 seconds
better.
left.
What is going on?
It's just the craziest.
This
This is professional rank. This is CRL right now, championship
Yeah,
series.
actually, I actually qualified for RLCS since season 1.
I've been playing for.
Fossil comes in with 20 seconds saying, hey, I don't just co-host. I also go off the wall. Look at that shot.
You finally understand hogfish.
Pogfish. You're a pogfish. Get it together, folks. Let's go, New Mexico.
I'm sweating now.
Oh,
I've been
that was
sweating.
Just past the boss, so
Knees
Fossil, can you score
beat
now?
mom spaghetti.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Fossil cheesecake.
Everybody, ball chase. 10 seconds. Freak out.
Start screaming.
Everyone freak out. No, don't scream. Just score. Figuratively.
Hogfish. Someone do a hogfish.
No!
Oh my gosh. And GG's to everyone today. What a fun time. That was so fun.
I hate this game.
So
Thanks to, I'm gonna mute these other guys real quick, and Fossil, we'll go ahead and
Leaving.
Fossil, I want you to give us feedback on our
Why did
comms,
it-
by the way.
Top tier. Top tier.
Top tier. All right, so I've muted the other guys here, Fossil, so it's just us here on the
Go for
stream.
it.
But
Go for
yeah, what are your thoughts here about gaming with the middle school students and the little mixer we just ended with?
I would be interested in seeing them in the in a serious manner.
Sure.
But
Oh yeah. Now, as a little hint to research, I'm working with the professor at NMSU, and we work a lot on video games and stuff. And one thing that I think we're interested in as a study we have, we're interested in looking at the discourse analysis, the way people talk, the comms. So when they're in a Rocket League match, we're looking at doing an empirical study with Rocket League players and kind of doing some discourse analysis on their comms and how they communicate and how we use literacy amongst these virtual spaces. So looking forward to next year. The comms you just heard were pretty much some of the you might hear noises like that when you're at the zoo, when you are crossing.
I was gonna say that was interesting.
Yeah, they are a wily bunch for sure. So I definitely appreciate jumping in, them keeping it PG somewhat. Thanks to NMSU, thanks to Fossil. I know UNM didn't make it out; they had some trouble. But the week before last, JMMS didn't make it out; they had some trouble. So we're looking forward to next week. We got 3s or something, right?
3s, 2s, something. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get more. More participation. Excuse me. I think it may be a good idea to do 2s simply because we did 3s last week. I think 2s may increase the number of teams by a significant margin. So
Okay.
we can see if we can do that. It would be a little bit more interesting to watch too. 2s gives people a little bit more room to kind of do what they want. So we might see a little bit more aerial play and stuff like that. So
That's
that
a
might be
good
interesting
call.
to watch.
Yeah, really good call, Fossil. That's a really good point. All right, well, we're going to do 2s next week. You sold me, man. That's perfect. Okay. We'll catch you all next week. Take care.
I will. Yep. See you.